What's up guys, it's Josh back with another video, and in order to help new users, I wanted to go through a few command line utilities that can help you navigate and understand the Linux operating system a little bit better. So let's go on and hop over to the terminal and walk through these commands. They're very simple, very easy to use, but this is mainly for people that are very new to the Linux command line, and I just put together a couple commands that are simple to follow and simple to understand that I could walk you guys through to help you adjust to the command line. So let's get started. Okay, cool. So I have the terminal open on my Linux desktop. I'm using Arch, and all these commands will work pretty much the same on any Linux distribution. These commands are a pre-installed utility that comes with most Linux distributions. So let's go down and show you the first one, which is the date command. And what I'm gonna do is open up the man page for each one of these commands, just so you guys can get an overview of what they really are. But I'm going to look at the date command right fast, but let's press enter. And basically what this does is it prints or sets the system date and time. So let me go down and quit. I'm not going to go through, all the options and everything, but let's just run the basics of the command. So if we run date by itself, press enter, and it'll print out the date. So that's a very simple command. Let's go down and clear the screen and show you the next one. But the next one I wanted to show you is uptime. And so let's man that as well. Each one of these commands should have a man page. Some of them don't. You know what I'm saying? We'll see when we get to them. But uptime is one that I wanted to show you guys. So let's press enter. It says tells how long the system has been running. So let's quit that. I'm gonna press Q and then just run uptime, and that way you guys can see it. And like I said, a lot of these commands have a bunch of options, but I'm gonna just run the base command so you guys can get an idea of what it actually does. As you can see, this system has been up for about 19 hours and 30 minutes, and then it shows how many users as well as the load average. So you can check that out as well. You know what I'm saying? That it prints out that information for you. Now the next command I wanted to show you guys is the df command. Now this is messing around with dis, and so this is a dis usage command. It's the basic one. If you've used Linux before, then you obviously know this, but let's go down and run the man page so you guys can see what df is actually for. Press enter. It basically says it reports file system disk space usage. So let's press Q, and pretty much anytime you're running like df, I believe you have to use the sudo command because you're working with disk, but I'm gonna just run it without using sudo, and it should print out everything. And never mind, this one doesn't require you to have sudo, but it's another command I know you have to use sudo in order to look at the system, and it might be ls block, which basically lists out the blocks. So I think that's the one that uses sudo. But df, like I said, it'll show you the file system. It shows you the blocks of the file system, but it's in kilobytes. So there are options to make it show how you want it to show. So if you want to show it in like gigabytes or something, you can show it that way. It shows you the used space, available space, as well as the used percentage of each one of the drives. So, and then also you can see the mounted locations. So this is each place that each one of these systems or devices or mounted file systems or mounted. So very simple command. Let's go down and clear the screen. And the next one I wanted to show you guys is the uname command. So let's run man and then uname. And this one is basically used to show kernel information. So as you can see, it says print system information, but I typically use it for kernel information if I wanted to show kernel information. So we can type uname, and the way I always run it is using -a, and that'll print out everything. So let's press enter, and you can see the kernel. You'll see, it's Linux. This is the host name right here, so I call this one Athena, and then the kernel version, which is 5.14.7, Arch Linux. So as you can see, and then GNU Linux right there. So it just basically prints out the kernel information, and I advise you guys to run this on your system. That way it can pull up, you know, the information on your system using this command. So let's go down and clear and go to the next one. And the next one I want to show you guys is the W command. Now this won't really show much information unless you're, I don't know, working with a server or something. That's one cool thing about this command. It's made for like a server where you have multiple users logging into it, but it's the W command, and it's, you know, like I said, a very simple command. W basically displays who's online on the system. So as you can see, let's read it. It says show who is logged on and what they are doing. So let's go down and quit that right fast and type W so we can see what it actually shows. And as you can see, you'll see me. I'm the only user on there, the actual TTY. So I'm using TTY7. Log on. That was the time I was logged on. Idle. JCPU, PCPU, and what I'm actually doing. So right now I have a XFCE4 session, which is the desktop environment that I use. All right, so let's go down and clear, and I'll show you the next one. And the next one is, it kind of ties to the W command, but it basically shows who you are as a user on the system. Even though you know who you are based on, you know, the name right here, Josh at Athena, but it's basically who am I. So let's run the man command on that. So who am I? And that's the command name right there. And basically says print effective user ID. So let's quit and then run it now. So let's who am I? Press enter. Boom. You'll see that you're Josh. And the next thing I want to show you guys, let me go down and clear. But basically, let's say you want to find out where you are on the system, as far as the directory that you're in currently. And most of the time, the default directory, when you open up the terminal, whatever Linux operating system you're on, it's going to be your home directory. But the way you find it out, let's say you're navigating around in different folders, but you get to use the pwd command. So let's type man pwd, press enter. That'll give us the main page for it, but it says print name of current working directory. And that's what PWD stands for, in my opinion. It's print working directory. That's basically what it means. So let's press Q for quit and run it right fast, and it'll print out the full path of the directory that we're in. As you can see, I'm in home and Josh. That's typically where your home directory is. And if we go, let's say we go into our music folders, boom, and if we go PWD, press enter, you'll see that we're under home, Josh, and music. So PWD is very important if you want to find out where you are within the Linux file system, as far as like directory. So let's CD, and then let's clear. And the last one I want to show you guys is the free command. And this is basically to show memory and swap usage. So when we type man and then free, this will give us you know, some memory information. As you can see, it says displays amount of free and used memory in the system. So let's press Q for quit and run the command. So free, enter, and that'll break everything out for you. And I know you can get to it if you have HTOP installed. That's part of the information that's provided within HTOP. You know what I'm saying? It just shows it in a better way. You know, you can see the memory and swap information there, and it looks a whole lot better. So that's a good way of actually getting it. But if you want just a quick way of opening it up, currently you can just run the free command, and you get to go. You can see the total, the used, the free, you know, the shared, buffer cache, and available. So that's a very simple command. And then just to throw in something else, you can actually look at CPU information by just catting out specific files. So I'll show you guys that right fast. So cat, and I believe it's procs, and then CPU info. And let's tab it out, press enter, and that'll give us the CPU information. You can go through, and I believe I showed this in another video, but you can find your CPU information. As you can see, I have a AMD Ryzen 7 4800H with the Radeon graphics. So That's what I have in my system, in my main system, my main laptop that I use every day. And then also, if you want to look at some memory information, there is another file under procs called mem info. So let's tab that out, press enter, and it'll give us some more memory information, which I'm not going to go through. I just wanted to show it to you guys. This is how you actually get the information. And this is probably what the free command actually uses when pulling memory information. It basically just puts it in a format where you can easily read it with the different columns and all that stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helps new users that are just starting out playing around with the command line in your Linux operating system. But it's always best to practice, so just practice. Just find other commands and just run them, see what they do. You can read the man pages and get some information about how you can actually run it using different options, so you can show things a little differently in the command line. But it's not that difficult once you understand what you're doing. So if you have any questions, leave comments down in the comment boxes below, and go on and like and share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, keep it techie.